Hello and welcome back. Today we're going to be building essentially an apocalyptic bomb shelter. That is the goal. It took me a while because I thought most of the plots in this world were desert, and they're not. Most of them are grass, which was upsetting because I wanted desert. So I finally found this little corner of the world here that's all desert. So these houses, I can make my apocalypse houses. Maybe keep the trailer, I don't know. Mr. Zest lives here, so we'll see. Quickly, I'm just going to go through there is a fishing location down there. That's really good, too. Start by placing our roof. So the idea is most of it's going to be obviously underground, because it's a bunker. It's just how it works. And this will be for an apocalypse let's play that I plan on doing. I've saved a couple of families because it's fun to add in families that aren't yours. So we'll see what I choose to do. But for right now, let's go ahead and get started. So I'm starting off with just a basic like bunker entryway. I want it to be metal. I want it to look like somebody just like threw it down there and then it's covering, the whole very science based. My thought was that this would be something that the family had, maybe been working on, and this is like their second home. But I want this to be more of like a family. I think of like the indie game Sheltered apocalyptic kind of vibe instead of like science or military. So it might look a little bit more on the military side, but that was my basic idea. I wanted to give it more of this kind of whole feeling. Like there's an exit space and then there's tendrils coming off of it, like hallways. This was kind of inspired off of a movie that I watched when I was a kid that I shouldn't have watched when I was a kid, but it was called The Hole, and there was this like bunker outside of this English schoolhouse, and it was just kind of like a cylindric tube. This one I wanted to be more user friendly looking. I do want to build a bunker that looks a little bit more like that one in the future because I do again plan on making more bunkers. I didn't want to go too crazy with this one though. I wanted it to be a good starter house essentially for a family. I didn't want this one to be too science or military leaning, as this might be more like a normal family bunker. I guess I'll air quote that one, normal bunker people. So that was kind of my thought, my idea. This was a family member or a family that knew that there was something bad that was going to happen, or that found this bunker like right before it happened or after it happened if they somehow survived in a different way. And they're got down here, there's food for them to eat. I added in a bunch of canned goods, or yeah, canned goods for them to eat off of as kind of a part of the challenge that they'll be going with, since they won't be able to go outside as often. The bathroom was a little bit more of a struggle for me because I wanted it to feel more like a community bathroom. Like, this isn't supposed to be a family where everybody's related. It's supposed to be more like a family where there's like four adults that maybe don't know each other. And I want to be able to, for gameplay purposes, bring in other Sims slowly as the like storyline progresses. Either people are dying or getting lost or moving out, and they're bringing in other members that they found out in, the wilderness of this apocalyptic world that they're inhabiting. So I wanted it to look very almost planned, I guess. That that doesn't make sense. Kind of community, I guess. What are those things called? Hostels. They're hostels. I wanted it to have kind of a hostel-esque vibe where it's like an apartment for a bunch of people that don't know each other. I'm making so much sense to myself. It makes sense in my head. So I'm adding in this like dining island thing here. I was mad that I couldn't get them to like line up appropriately, but I finally did get them. So this is like their communal eating space, as well as it's got the refrigerator. I will be playing with this household using the simple living challenge, I believe, which is the one that makes it so you can't order food. Like you have to order food, you can't just use food. I'm placing 4 beds in here because, like I said, I'm thinking 4 adults or 2 adults and adding in more early on. Then we're going to be building in a small greenhouse area. That was the only other thing I knew that I wanted before starting the Let's Play or playing in this household, was because I liked the idea of them having access to this kind of like underground greenery area. That, and of course they'll need to make their own food. I struggled a little bit to figure out how I wanted that to go down, just because I couldn't remember how to get rid of that ceiling either. I did decide I wanted to make this a little bigger, and I gave them a recycler. I don't know. I haven't used the recycler a lot, so if the recycler is weird, I guess they just won't be able to use it in a helpful way. I also gave them some of these vertical things for maybe herbs to not really take up the same space. I decided to do the 2 high, like the 2 tubes, instead of just making one larger one, because I thought that had more of a fun vibe. And I just made it medium walls instead of tall walls or short walls. And now I'm building a couple of more spaces that I decide I'm not going to use, but originally I thought I wanted to build the whole base. And then I decided it would be more fun if I built the base as I played more so. So now we're just getting rid of all of those solid walls or weird looking walls. And then I'll making a small area for the generators, because they will need to be able to generate power as well as water, and they're going to be underground, so they can't use solar panels to start with. I wanted to give them, the things to start with. This is all in my storyline. They found it like this, so this stuff is all down here. Somebody made the place, they found it, and they were like, oh wow, and now they're here. But they can continue to expand upon it as they go, whether by like finding new areas or like in the game Sheltered, you dig out new spaces. So that's kind of where I want to go with that game, integrating it into The Sims. So now I'm just going to finish decorating the outside, and that will be it. Okay, and here we are with the finished bunker design. So this is kind of the base concept of where I want to start at, not the finished concept, because I do want to expand a wall in play. So I did go ahead and remove these 2 doors so that it can continue to expand. I think that like might be fun to bring this building around this way, and they might need more space for people, because there will be chances throughout the Let's Play to add more people into the group, as well as actually having people have babies and stuff like that. People will be able to leave the bunker during like my challenge, the bunker challenge, but only to do certain things and only once a week. So that's why I was like, I'm happy there's fish right there, because they also can't leave this vicinity. I am going to be turning one of these into probably like a store or some other type of broken down something or other, as you do. But so they can go around, they can gather stuff from this area. There doesn't seem to be too much going on, but there is fishing spots, so that's what matters. They have a nice little greenhouse open to the sky that might expand as they build, which means this room might end up getting deleted. The main rooms that they needed for starting was food storage, their bedroom, which I could actually make one smaller, this bathroom here, which I'm hoping will work okay for them, and then the generator room for water and energy. Nice little offshoot room there. That one can also expand at least one more, I think. Yeah, one more, and to add in more, if any of that, if I needed to, as well as we have the garden area for them to go, like, continue to grow food. And then these rooms will just be expanded upon through gameplay, things that they need as they start to, develop their own skills and personal, go-arounds. So here we are. Here we have it. I'm going to do a little trial run just to make sure that people can work in this vicinity and that everything works out. But I'm pretty excited. I like the way that it looks so far. And I think that it's really fun out here. I'm excited, like, to maybe expand the greenhouse and have like multiple glass pieces, kind of like this tube-ish shape. That I think will be really fun. So that's where we're at. Thank you so much for watching. It's been fun. It's been cozy. If you liked this video, leave a comment, like the video, and subscribe for more. I mostly do gameplay videos, and I'll see you next time when we actually get to play in this household.